consumption methods. I'll throw these up there in case they stimulate questions, but I'll push through them pretty quickly. So flower, most people who think about cannabis think about smoking it. If I gave you broccoli and told you to incinerate it and eat it, that would seem pretty stupid. The same chemistry applies. All the active ingredients in cannabis boil at temperatures which are 1/10 of the temperature of flame. So really what's happening in a joint is the stuff that's burning here has enough distance from the plants closer to your lips that you're actually boiling. You're not just incinerating. But you get a random distribution of stuff because the heat is a random distribution. So people who are consuming joints, they're destroying all the product, 80% of it, as a wick, because one piece of cannabis is burning the next one. But they're also getting a random distribution of stuff, and who knows what it's going to do. That's why sometimes people feel attracted to it. Psychologically, we have intermittent reinforcement. That's a psychological concept you guys remember. Sometimes you get positive, sometimes you don't. It draws you more to the product. That's why people love smoking cannabis so much. So one of the other cool things about cannabis actually is that it takes so many different disciplines that I enjoy, like the psych, the chemistry, the business. All right, so concentrates is another thing. I mean, if you love coffee, watered down Americano, this is the espresso version of that in cannabis. People love it because it's instant gratification. It feels great right now, but boy, is a blast to your receptors. And you get them not addicted, but really used to that level of density. And this becomes a whole. Side note, the 2019 sort of vape crisis, where we are like, oh my God, vaping is killing people. The entire culture, couldn't really distinguish between cigarette nicotine vaping and cannabis vaping. They didn't really know which article was talking about which vaping because there wasn't information out there. But dispensary products are also producing products which is not the same quality as Joe Schmo on the street. And Joe Schmo on the street says, you know what, I want to make more profit from my homemade product. What can I do to cut it? And you would find, just as you would right now, if you put vitamin E acetate, that is safe to consume. But if you looked one step deeper, you'd see it's safe to consume topically. It's not safe to consume with your lungs. But people cooking up cannabis and selling it are not exactly scientists. So that's where we had deaths come, because people were cutting it with shouldn't have been added. Tinctures, sprays. So this is an interesting solution that just came up in this market in the summer. People like smoking cannabis because it works quickly, instant gratification. They don't like edibles because it takes a long time to start working, even though it lasts a lot longer. So a couple companies came up with the idea of back of the throat sprays, like Banaka sprays, if you guys know the breath freshener sprays. And the interesting thing about these is your back of your mouth has such density of tissue that you get an absorption very quick, you get an effect within 5 minutes. And you process it so quickly, it doesn't last more than like an hour. So there's now a non-inhaling version which works quickly. Same like the seltzers, actually, they work very quickly because of the gastromucosa, same principle. You have blood supply that's absorbing cannabinoids quickly, and they don't last as long as you would expect an edible kit. I guess this is just shameless plug for the book. There's charts, it's not just a read the cover kind of thing. I put in charts here that people who are inexperienced can reference right away, and the book also has stuff that's really important for novices, important for experts. I didn't know how big this was going to be, so I included all this stuff there. Is worth its own industry itself, and there is a small industry coming up. I have patients, I have one patient in particular, I did a documentary on my YouTube channel. This guy is a musician and couldn't play music anymore because of the arthritis in his hands. Within 3 months of a topical regimen, he's back playing music, he's back earning income.